said to you, we didn't officially talk about foreign currency and exchange rates, but they work the same way as any ratio question does. So I just thought I'd pick out a few for you in preparation for the test. Now, the fact that I've picked out some questions in the style should give you a clue the kinds of questions that might come up in the test. Yes?
We'll have to try on the test?
Yes.
Or on the learning now?
But, sweetheart, what did I just say? You're not learning new stuff. It's the same as ratios, but they're perhaps in a different style, which is why I want to go through some with you. Okay? So it's not learning anything new. It's just looking at different types of questions. Okay? So, it says change 250 euros to yen. So they've got some information here. They've said 1 euro is 120 yen. So in the same way that we've been doing, we could write euros to yen is 1 to 120. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Euros to yen is 1 to 120. They've asked us to change 250 euros. So, what are we going to do? We're going to multiply. But the reason is because we've got now 250 euros. So we look at the euro side, yes? And we're now going to say 250. Does that make sense?
No? Yes.
Why does that not make sense, Sarah?
Oh, are we times them with 250 or what?
No, because there was a question. So this was from our original information that we were given. And then the question said we need to change 250 euros. So I've had a look at my column that has euros, and I've written 250, because that's what the question's asked me to do.
Oh,
Okay? Now, that means that we need to try and find how many yen there are. So what I say is I've gone from a 1 to now being 250. So what did I do to that number? I multiply by 250. And what's the rule for ratios? What you do to... Exactly. So we're going to have to do that to this side as well. And we're going to work out what 120 multiplied by 250 is.
it's 3 with 4 zeros.
3 with 4 zeros. Thank you. That's our answer. Okay? Everyone happy with that?
Okay. So we times 120 times 250 times 50.
That's right.
And then we don't simplify it.
No. Because, Sarah, they've asked us what 250 euros is. And so that we need to know its equivalent number.
Okay.
Yeah?
So we make in this little 3,000.
So here this would be 3,000. Read it. Okay? Now, then, oh,
No, 4 zeros. Yeah, it's 4 zeros.
oh, so I apologize. I didn't listen to my instructions. I was told 4 zeros, just didn't write them. So it then says we need to change 9,000 yen to euros. Okay, so we're still using this conversion. So we've still got euros to yen. So it was 1 to 120. But this time they've talked about which currency? Yen. So which side am I going to write the 9,000 on? Which one? The side that the yen is on. Yes, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yes? Well, I hope it does. So we're going to write 9,000 here. So, sweetheart, the question has asked about 9,000 yen. Okay? So we're going to write that number first, in the same way that we wrote the 250 euro on the euro side. And then what happens is, what did we do here? We said, how did we go from being a 1 to 250? We multiply by 250. We need to work out what we have to do here. Now remember, what's the sneaky way? Rather than typing in 120 times lots of different numbers, what do we do, Madison?
Divide.
We're going to divide, yes. So we're going to put in our calculators. Which calculation, Georgie?
9,000 divided
Good. You're going to put in your calculators 9,000 divided by 120. I'll get you your calculator. I should have gone to that. Sorry, I should have ordered it. And what's that?
by
75. So that means that I have multiplied that by 75. Yes? So that means what's the rule? What you do to one side, you must do to the other. So I'm going to multiply this by 75. So our answer is 75 euros. So, does everyone see how these questions are just ratio questions written in a different format? Yes? They're pretty straightforward, hopefully, as long as you're remembering your rules for ratios. The next question is a lot trickier. I'm going to hold off for that one, just for now, because I'm thinking you're not going to have one like that just yet.
We're not going to have any like this.
You did it, really?
Yeah, my mom
Well,
told
should
me
we have a look to see if we can have a go at it? The thing is, I don't want to confuse people.
I don't want to be confused.
I'm going to leave it just for now. I'll come back to you in a second if we need to worry about stuff like that.
So I looked at it and it's very confusing.
Right.
Yes, it is very
So this one is a similar question. I'm going to leave that one for you to have a practice at. Right, this is another type of question that I want to look at. Again, so this is on the next page, I believe. Now, these kinds of questions are probably the type of questions that you are most likely to come across. She says, assuming that you are handy in the kitchen. This is a recipe for legal potato soup. FYI, love a bit of legal potato soup. If anyone wants to test out the recipe, feel free to bring it.
So we're like a real recipe?
I don't know, I guess so.
I don't think
So,
so.
legal potato soup. So, but this ingredient is for how many people?
6.
6.
My
Okay.
one.
So all of these measurements are related to 6 people. What would you do? Here's just this is not one of the questions. What would you do if you were cooking for 12 people? What are you going to do with these measurements, Fasika?
Add measurements going forward.
Which is how else can we talk about that if we're adding the same amount to not swearing, be careful because we're adding the same amount. If we were swearing, then we'd be multiplying. We're adding everything by itself, so what does that mean we're doing to these numbers? Doubling, awesome, yes? So we're doubling each of these numbers. So if I was talking about 12 people, I'd need 2 lots of 900 mils of stock. I'd need 2 lots of 900 mils of water, 2 lots of 750, etc., etc.
One person, you divide it by 6.
Exactly. If it was one person, you would divide them by 6. What about if it was 4 people?
Divided by
2.
no,
No, because if I divide by 2, how many people would that be?
3.
3, so you'd have too much.
Divided by 3?
You would divide it by 3. Oh, no, sorry. If you divided it by 3, how many people was that? 6. It would be 2 people, but we want 4 people.
Divided by 4?
So, what we're going to have to do here, we would have to do some dividing, but also some multiplying. So you've got some choices here. So if we wanted about 4 people, remember that the sheet I gave you about the unitary method, so that means find things for one person. So if we did what Sarah said,
3 or 4?
no, who said divide by 6?
For 1.
For 1, sorry.
Oh, and then times by
So if we do all of this divide by 6, 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 that gives us 1 person. If we were then wanting 4 people, what would we do with these numbers? We would then multiply those answers by 4. Yes, does that all make sense? Yes? So if they're nice numbers, so if it was just half of it, we would divide by 2, straightforward. If it was double it, if it was 12, we would double them all. And if it was anything more complicated, we'd find what it would be for one person and then multiply.
Yes,
Yes?
it was 24.
If it was 24, you'd say how many lots of 6 go into 24? How many lots of 6 do you get? 4. So what would you do with all of these numbers? Multiply by 4. Okay? I mean, you're a baker, Sarah, aren't you? So you deal with recipes all the time. So if you've got a recipe, 6 cupcakes, and you want 24 cupcakes, you need to multiply them by 4. Yes? So these are the kinds of things that do come into play into real life. So the first question, though, let's actually look at what we've been asked to do. It says find the ratio of the weight of leeks to the weight of potatoes. So they want leeks first, and then potatoes. So how many grams of leeks is it? So leeks to potatoes. Remember, I like to always do a quick letter, just to make sure I'm doing it in the right order. Georgie?
It's 750 grams to 850 grams. Then reduced, it's 15 to 7.
Thank you. So our first step, though, was to literally just look at the leeks and the potatoes. They're both in grams, so we don't have to worry about writing grams. And then the important thing here was that Georgie spotted, it said in its simplest form. So if we'd written 750 ... 350, we wouldn't get full marks. We can use our calcs to help us. Sorry, Georgie, what did you say it was? 15 to 7. And we'll remember to use our fraction button, yes, to help simplify fraction ratios.
Wait, how would you? So I got 7/15. Which number do you get first?
Okay, so Sarah, you've got to be really careful that you're putting the numbers in the correct order. So this says leeks first and then potatoes. So on the top of your fraction, you're going to write 750. So have you remembered to do the fraction button? Yes? The 750 goes on the top and the 350 goes on the bottom. And then you should have a fraction that says 15/7. Yes? No, it doesn't matter, it's the bigger number on the top.
If we have 3 units, is it the whole mark?
No. Okay? So here, Ainsley wants to make for 13 people, so we just talked about this. They only want to know about the chicken stock. Okay, so we're only worrying about the chicken stock.
2 times 1.
So we knew that for 6 people, how much chicken stock was it? 900? So we find for one person, we said we would divide that by 6. Yes, do you remember that? So what's 900 divided by 6? 150. And then for 13 people,
Could you, Miss Nelson, could you, to find 13, would you do double it times 1?
no, because doubling it would give you the 12, but you would need to add one extra person, so you can't do it adding. With ratios, remember, it's always multiplying or dividing.
So how would you find 13?
We just talked about that, sweetheart. We find 1, and then multiply by 13. Yes? So it's always multiplying and dividing. And sometimes you have to get smaller in order to go bigger.
So in the end, it would be 1,950.
Yes.
That's like grams.
Milliliters. It's actually already got it for you, so you wouldn't have to worry about that one.
Well, that helps because that tells you that you're doing something wrong when you write people.
Exactly. So, is that making sense to you?
Yes.
And we see how the ratios are, they're just ratio questions, but they're written in a fancy pants way. Alright? So, you've got a few more questions on that sheet to help practice that, if you wish.